The thing is, I got a warning on my phone that said like tornado, like take cover immediately, and I was like, yeah, whatever. And then like, and then like 30 seconds later, this
Boom.
thing's coming through. I was like hugging the copy machine in the center of the office
Well, okay.
at the
I
end
mean,
of this.
that'll go. You go with it.
Hello, welcome back to the Friends of Zeus podcast. This is episode 180. God, can you believe it? 180.
180.
Tonight is going to be Dez's show. We're going to talk about something that is of great interest to everyone outside of Kansas. You want to tell us what we're talking about tonight?
Yeah.
Was that a joke?
Yeah, that was pretty cold.
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. I think it's interesting.
I think it is too. It's going to be fun.
Okay.
Well,
With that
Des?
roaring,
I hope a witch, or I hope somebody comes drops a house on you. Then.
Oh, great.
Not here.
Anyway.
No, she's coming back in August.
Well.
woo!
Yeah. Anyway, hi everyone. I'm Desiree, as y'all know, and I do live in Kansas, as we discussed before, and therefore, I was probably more excited than a lot of people on this podcast to go see the new Twisters movie. Now, what do you think I thought of it? Just give me a guess.
Hot garbage.
I think
Okay.
you liked it.
Okay.
I think it was fun.
Okay. What do you think, Jeff?
I'm guessing you got lost in Glenn Powell's eyes.
No.
Oh,
I did.
yeah.
I would.
Well, there is a part at the end of the movie like that should have been a kissing scene, but it wasn't. It kind of stirred up a little bit of shit, I guess. I don't know, but they should have just been fucking making out in that airport, but they didn't. Whatever. I don't know. I thought it was okay. I wouldn't like tell anyone to go see it in the theater. It wasn't like worth the IMAX. It wasn't worth any of that. I mean, it was okay. I mean, the opening sequence was good. The ending sequence was good. The middle, nothing was happening. Like what? Like the meat of the movie, like nothing interesting really happened. But the problem is I figured out afterwards is I have a lot of bias now. Because now, so when I first saw Twister, I didn't know shit. I didn't even know what a chicken was. Okay, I didn't live in Kansas. I didn't know any of that stuff. I was like blown away. Whew. But now, like everything in that movie is an homage to something like that's happened over the past 20 years. Every single thing.
In the first one?
In the second one.
Oh, in the second one.
And I don't know, the first one could have been like that.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't have known. Shit.
Were
That's
you
new to me? I was like, tornado, what's that?
I mean, were you expecting like what were your expectations? Were you looking for like a really awesome story? Were you looking for just like super cool effects? Were you looking for a mixture? Like,
I don't know, just something, in Twister, you kind of it keeps you moving. You're with it, you're with them. You're like, okay, what's next? What's next? You're going to go to that. You're going to do this. What are we going to do next? What's it going to be? And then this one wasn't really like that.
Was it like Fast and the Furious with wind?
Wind and the Furious? No. It wasn't. But
yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing it, but I'm not rushing out to see it.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. I wouldn't say it's hot garbage. Not hard garbage, but
yeah.
I mean, the opening and the ending are really good. It's just everything in the middle kind of sucks.
Sounds like a movie you watch once and that's it.
And yeah. Sometimes that's okay.
Yeah, like the first
Twister. That Twister was like a fucking cult following.
Yeah.
Like you watch that shit all the time. But this one's not going to be like that. I don't know.
So I have to ask, only because my favorite part about the first movie, and I think I've said this before, is the end credit music by Eddie Van Halen. It's like an instrumental. It is badass. Do they have good exit music on this one, or do you remember?
The main like feature song is like a country song. It does fit. It's very fitting. But I mean, it wasn't
Eddie Van Halen.
I mean, I enjoyed it. I liked it.
Just curious.
I also
because it was
enjoy
so
country
strong.
a little bit more than Eddie Van Halen.
Yeah, I got you.
I will say, so when I very first heard this movie was going to come out, so this is like last year when they were announcing for extras and shit to come down to Oklahoma and shoot. I was like, I wonder if they're good, because I was like, well, maybe this girl that's in this movie is going to be like, Bill and Helen's daughter, or Bill and Joe's daughter. That's what I always thought.
Something.
These movies are not the same. Like they are not even related.
Not in the same universe. No same character. No cameos.
The only cameo that makes an appearance is Dorothy.
Wow.
Dorothy makes a small appearance.
Wow, like the machine, like
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the thing that sends up all the things.
Yeah.
So does this lady work at the same, like one of the same scientific things that one of the other people worked at? Like what? There's no tie.
No tie. There's no tie. So this chick, she's just like in college. I mean, I don't really need to give the whole movie away, but she's in college and she goes to tornado chasing with her. She's like in meteorology school in Oklahoma. I'm assuming she probably went to the University of Oklahoma because that's where every fucking buddy goes. But so they're doing like their project or whatever, and they get caught in the tornado and most of them die, and so then she's traumatized by it, and so she goes to work in New York at like the weather service up there. We're very far from tornadoes.
Do they have a finger of God moment?
No finger of God moments. Yeah, we're happy.
So she gets out of like where the actual tornadoes are and goes to New York to be in the weather service, like in the same church but different pew.
Yes.
Kind of thing.
Yes.
And Jeff gets that because he's Catholic. We've established that on previous episode. Who? Me?
No, Jeff.
I've been to church many times, not much recently, but
I've been there. It's like shaped like this a little bit.
I've driven by churches.
I don't go
lot
there,
of seats.
because I've been told that it would catch on fire if I went, so I don't want to
Wow.
do that to others that go. I mean, that'd be fucking rude of me if I went to.
Well, that's why we have the holy water things there, just in case of emergency.
no, when I touch the holy water, smoke starts coming out.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's not to drink. You don't drink that stuff?
You can.
Oh.
You won't get a cold for a long time.
Oh.
So
Well,
did they leave
Uh-huh.
plenty of questions in this leading to a possible sequel?
No.
Or
No,
I don't think so.
All
I
right.
mean, it was just a. I mean, did they do that in the first one? No.
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 Okay, it's just wondering if this is like the Empire Strikes Back of Twister movies.
But when I heard they were making a sequel to Twister, I was like, why? Like, are you going to beat it? I mean, it was a phenomenal. Look, it was a B movie when it came out, but it was really good, and it had quite a cult following, and it ran. It was a hit. It was a big hit, but it doesn't need a sequel. So they really. It sounds like from what you're saying, Desiree, it's less of a sequel. It's more of a reboot or a remake, I guess.
Maybe
an updated.
Maybe. I mean, like I said,
remake.
there's a lot of homages to stuff that happens now versus like how, because I guess it is nothing but a movie about tornadoes and chasing them. Okay.
Right.
So in the first one, there's just some like fucking country hicks chasing naders, right? I mean, that's beat up trucks, some computers, and that was it. Pepsi cans on a fucking sensor.
Yeah, I mean, the first Twister movie had a lot in common with like the first Point Break movie. It was just like these surfer dudes, but they were like robbers on the side, and like the Twister people were like, it's like Revenge
Dusty.
of the
You had
Nerds.
Dusty.
You know what though?
It was like Revenge of the Nerds with tornadoes. That was the first Twister.
But listen to the first 6 actors that were in that movie: Bill Paxton, everybody knows and loves.
Yep.
Helen Hunt.
Alive.
Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Dead. Yep.
Jamie Gertz, Carrie Elwes, Princess. That's the guy from Princess Bride.
Yeah.
Alan Ruck.
I know him.
Jeremy Davies was in that. If you know Jeremy Davies, you know him.
I don't.
He's a spectacular actor. He gets a lot of really weird roles. But wow, that's a Philip Seymour Hoffman. I forgot about that.
I remember he was in that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was back.
And Alan Ruck was the tall guy in Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
More recently in Succession.
In Succession.
Yeah, wow, that's pretty cool. Anyway,
But
sorry
even,
for-
I mean, Philip Seymour Hoffman, that was like near the same time he was doing like the first Mission Impossible movie, which, he had done some art films, but he was doing some big hits,
yeah, I guess he kind of blew up with that.
But then
with
he
the
went
one
back.
where he was the director.
The Master?
No,
Capote.
in Capote, yeah. That's when I
The
think
writer,
he really
yeah.
blew up.
Yeah, he blew up then.
Yeah.
He does a
Also
movie.
a murder
Yeah.
that occurred in Kansas in cold blood.
What's that?
In Cold Blood by Capote.
Yeah.
So I mean, honestly, that's really it. That's all I have to say about the movie. I mean, it was just a movie. It wasn't that great. I was more excited about it than I thought, but I really think it's because I have a bias because I don't know. There was like a scene in the movie where they're like driving through like a wind farm, wind
Yeah.
energy.
Yeah.
Those big ass wind fans.
Yeah. They kill birds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever been driving down the road and seen one of those blades on a truck? That's big.
No, I haven't seen one on a truck.
You haven't? Oh, they're huge. Anyway, they're really big. And so like in this scene, the tornado is like hitting a fucking wind farm, right? And so these like fan blades are like fucking just darting into the ground, right? That could have probably been cool, except for that actually happened like last year.
Wow.
Like in real life. So I mean, I'm just like, it was cooler when it actually happened because the fucking fan just bent. It was real weird, but
was there a decent crowd when you saw it?
yeah.
So these are fellow Kansans. How did the crowd react?
I don't know.
I mean, were they like?
I mean,
nah? Was it quiet? Were they like rooting and tooting, or
I don't know.
pretty
I think
pretty
some people
mild?
clapped. I don't really know. I don't really pay
I'm just
attention to what people do
curious.
at the end of a movie. What do you do at the end of a movie? Do you clap?
I
That's
mean,
weird.
I've seen people clap. I mean, yeah. I'm just wondering. These are real Kansans. Like, these aren't like New Hampshire people. These are serious Nader people.
I feel like people probably had the same thing I did.
People.
Okay.
You were just like, well, that was a movie.
Okay.
Never get that $27 back.
I mean, I got
no, it wasn't that bad.
In Baltimore, I got like The Wire and like John Waters. That's what I got. I don't have it, so I can talk about that. But I figured
Edgar Allan
Kansas,
Poe, you fool.
I'm talking about movies.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying. I figured in Kansas they would have a strong opinion about their tornado movies.
Well, let's learn some things. So,
okay,
let's talk about real actual naders, not CGI ones. Okay.
Okay.
So, who here, besides me, has experienced a nader?
Nope.
Mike, you have?
Yeah.
Was it just not that long ago and when the tornado hit Baltimore?
It hit Annapolis, about 100 yards from my office.
Yeah.
It was
were you there?
2021. Yeah. Scared the holy shit out of me.
Holy, I thought it was like 2 months ago.
No. This was September 1st, 2021.
Okay, but like 2 months ago, a tornado did hit Baltimore.
Oh no, I didn't experience that one.
Oh,
no.
Well, it did.
I used to be all about tornadoes. Like, I wanted to chase them. I wished one would come by. Now that is gone now. Now that I've been through one. I mean, I saw
you just seen it go by. You seen it go by.
I did not see no. So it went perpendicular to where I was, but on the street, I saw everything get sucked into it, and I worked in a first floor office, and it was all glass walls. And about 20 seconds before I knew this was bad, I started hearing all this whistling, like 100 people whistling. Like,
yeah,
I can't.
I always heard it sounds like a train.
And it was all the air leaving through the cracks in the gaps around the windows from within the office to the out.
You didn't think it was cool?
I mean, the thing is, I got a warning on my phone that said like tornado, like take cover immediately, and I was like, yeah, whatever. And then like 30 seconds later,
boom,
this thing's coming through. I was like hugging the copy machine in the center of the office.
Well, okay.
At the end of this,
that'll go. You go with it. Jeff, you live in Florida.
Yeah.
You want to know a fun Florida fact?
I always love fun Florida facts.
Florida gets more tornadoes than Kansas.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
In the Panhandle, probably. No.
Most are associated with like tropical storms, so they're not really that great.
Oh.
Of
Oh
naders.
yeah, because anytime a hurricane comes through, the thing they
There's
tell you
always
is the
naders.
tornadoes that's come off the hurricane are really what destroys things.
Really? I didn't even know
Is that
that.
true? Is that, I mean
didn't know
on
that.
every hurricane, how many tornadoes would you say happen?
Probably a
I
lot.
would guess a lot, but
Yeah.
I honestly don't know.
Oh.
Because it all happens in that,
Yeah, I
in
think
that
that
muck, so I don't know
if
that
you
they
got a
measure.
hurricane and a nader that's in a hurricane, and I just think the hurricane outshines it. I don't know.
It's
Yeah, I
different.
feel
So
like a hurricane is almost like a giant tornado. I mean, it's got the center,
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you asked.
I've been in
So glad
both.
you asked.
Here's
Did
and
you? I didn't hear you ask.
let me say this because I've thought
Also,
about this.
Florida gets more lightning strikes than any other state.
and alligators.
Yes, alligator strikes as well.
I would say tornadoes are way more intense, but I've also been in a mobile home for like 8 hours hugging shag carpeting during a hurricane, like at the
Hugging
beach.
shag.
Well, I'm just
I'm
saying,
just
like,
glad you had a
hold
copier to grab onto.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that wouldn't be the advice. That's not what you're
I'm
supposed
just
to do.
picturing,
I'm just
like
saying-
when they always they show like the lady sits on top of the copier and then you get the.
Yes.
I'm just
I'm
picturing
just
all these
saying,
Mike with his face pressed flat against the glass.
I think I'd rather deal with a tornado than a hurricane.
So today we are closing the political talk because we are closed for tornadoes.
Oh man,
Isn't that a funny picture?
that is great, and I love their drawing. That's very good.
I know they're very artistic. Closed for tornadoes. Anyway, let's talk about tornadoes and hurricanes. Okay. Oh, what happened?
Hook echo. Grab a six
Stop.
pack and a
How do you go
chair.
back? I hate this stupid thing.
Sorry, are you in PowerPoint?
Yeah.
I can't help you.
Okay. Okay. So
Oh, I gotta click OK. Here.
there's one thing. I'll go in the middle. On one side is a nader. On one side is a hurricane. See how they are different.
The
Okay.
nader has what they call a hook echo, right?
Yeah, you're so smart.
I knew that.
And
Yes.
there's no hooks in the hurricane. But
No.
now, do you guys watch Ron White? Ever?
No.
Okay.
The comedian?
Yes.
No.
So he has a joke that but the butt of it is like, it's not what the wind, or it's not that the wind is blowing, but it's what the wind is blowing. Okay.
Good
So
point.
hurricane, like what's a category 5? Like what's the wind speed in category 5?
130, 140,
Yeah, I
140,
think it's
150, something like that.
I would
somewhere
have thought
in that
like
range.
200.
It's anything above, I want to say like 145 or something like
Yeah.
that.
So that's like a F2 tornado.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I mean, probably I don't know if it blows that long, that hard. I mean, it's got to start to do some damage, I'm sure, over time. But like,
That's the thing. It's the length of time.
There's in a tornado, there's no storm surge, there's
Right.
no massive rains that are just like won't stop. There's none
Yeah,
of
we've
that.
got a saying here locally: you never run away from the wind, you run from the water. So if
Mhm.
a
Yeah.
hurricane's coming and it's going to bring water in, you get out.
Yeah.
Because people drown. Most people survive the wind, even if things get damaged.
Well, yeah, but it is not that the wind is blowing. It is what the wind is blowing. So I mean, if it blows a fucking tree into your noggin, you might.
Yeah.
At 130 miles an hour, that's still probably gonna kill you.
Sting a little.
Yeah, but I mean, if your house doesn't fall down or flood, you'd probably be protected from the winds. I don't know. So, you can predict a hurricane. You know when the shit's coming. It's real big. You're knowing for days, right? You can figure out if you're gonna get out or stay the fuck there. Wait it out. They usually even know what the wind's gonna be or how much rain you're gonna get. They know, it all. I mean, it's pretty for days ahead. Nader, no.
Tornado sneaks up on you like Joe Biden sniffing your hair, man.
You just be outside playing baseball. Like, where did that come from? And then you don't even know. Like, it could look like it's not that big, but it's like gonna kill you, or it could look huge and be not that strong. It's real weird. It's real weird. And they've gotten a lot better in predicting them. I will say now, you can probably know about a day,
Are there any
about
stories
3
of
days ahead of
people?
time that you
Wow.
should be weather aware anyway.
Yeah.
Are there any stories of people getting brought up into the tornado and surviving, or it's pretty much a death sentence?
Again,
Uh,
it's not that the wind is blowing; it's what the wind is blowing. So I
Well,
mean,
what
if a
if it's
tornado
blowing you?
simply sucked you up and you blew around and there was nothing in there for you to bang against,
Oh,
you'd probably be all
I
right.
didn't know.
Unless, I mean, hopefully it
Well,
just doesn't throw you thousands of
like,
feet
yeah.
onto drop a house on you or something. But
And plus the low pressure, like, and again, I don't know, I'm not super knowledgeable with tornadoes, but I have heard people talk about the drop in pressure
mhm.
can be suffocating because it's not just sucking the air out of the room you're in, it's like you can't breathe.
Yeah, so I've not had the pleasure of experiencing it that close, but yes, everyone that has ever been in a tornado has always said your ears pop, you can't breathe.
Hmm.
But I don't know.
That's frightening.
It is. But I mean, if it sucks the air out of you, I guess you can't scream, right? Keeps you quiet.
Keeps you quiet.
Keeps you quiet, don't it?
Silent
I don't
but
know.
deadly.
I don't know which is
I'm just
worse,
gonna stay
tornado
away
or
from
hurricane.
trailer parks if I ever.
Yeah.
Yes, don't stay away from trailer park. You don't want to be in it. So I think you could probably, in a trailer home, you probably want to get out of that too in a hurricane. Is that same thing with hurricanes like it is in
Yes.
tornadoes?
I
Don't
went
ever be in
through
a
one.
trailer home.
I was in one, Hurricane Charlie. I don't know what year it was, late 80s. Had aluminum siding on it in Ocean City, and it was just a category 1. It was no big deal. And it was like 5 hours of gravel smashing the side of this aluminum. It was terrifying. I mean, I was like used to it, and after like 3 hours, I was just like, Jesus. So, yeah, no, they're no good.
Yeah, Nader, even if it does go over your house or whatever, I mean, it's literally just like 2 minutes, and then
Yeah.
you just arise from the rubble and see what's left. I guess hopefully you
Follow
didn't take
the
everything.
yellow brick road. Yeah.
Follow the
I
yellow
drove
brick
through
road.
the aftermath of a tornado a few years ago, and one side of the street, every roof is blown off. These gigantic trees just uprooted, knocked over. The other side of the street, completely normal.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
that's the crazy thing with a tornado to me. It's so focused
Yeah.
that, like, if you're not hit by it, like I don't, it's not going to look like that after a hurricane. Everything's going to be,
Fucked up.
yeah, everything's going to look. But this was like you could see the exact path that this thing
Mhm.
took, just destroying houses and stuff.
It's so weird. Like on Google Maps, if a tornado is big enough, it will like scar the earth, and so you can see like where it like dug out
Turned.
like a part.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Jeez.
But all right, so we don't know what's worse, a Nader hurricane. We're not here to judge. Okay. So there is a song called Trailer Hood. And it's by I can't remember. But there's a part in that song goes, grab a 6-pack and a launcher, there's a tornado coming. So this is just so we're all on the same page, this is just little educational bits here. So right now, it's a bad day outside. They've been saying it for 3 days. They've been like, oh, it's a big day. Okay, so we are grabbing our 6-pack and our lawn chair. Now they're gonna say some words on the television, okay? Okay. I hope that everyone, and I don't understand how people don't understand the difference between these two, a watch and a warning. You guys fucking understand the difference between a watch and a warning.
A watch is like it's possible, and a warning's like it's coming.
Yes.
No?
I don't understand why people don't understand the difference between those.
It is. Yeah. I mean, I could see being confused maybe if you've never heard it before.
But I mean,
Like a watch.
Hurricane
A watch, they go and buy all the
watch.
toilet paper and milk, and a warning is like all the beer and food.
Yeah.
Go into the shelter.
I think the warning is you better already have bought your shit and buckle down.
The watch
Yeah.
is go get your lawn chairs, and the warning is get your 6-pack.
Gotcha. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. Okay. So we've established that. Now, back in probably like circa early 2000s, maybe middle 2000s, specifically for the reason of very dumb people that live in Tornado Alley, they had to start making Because it used to just be a watch or a warning, one or the other.
Yeah.
Well, then, because I guess we couldn't figure out anything better to do during a tornado warning than literally go outside, fucking look up. They had to start, making the shit sound more serious. So they've instituted this thing called a PDS text, particular dangerous situation. This couldn't go on anything. It could go on, I'm sure it'd go on a hurricane, floods, severe thunderstorms, blizzards. PDS, particularly dangerous situation. That means it's gonna be bad.
So you get a text? You get a text or something?
Well, no, they just indicate it.
Oh, okay,
gotcha. Your little like warning on your phone of like, tornado watch, this is a particularly dangerous situation. PDS,
gotcha.
PDS watch, PDS warning. So, and then that wasn't good enough. So then they had to start saying, okay, there's levels. Now there's levels of warnings. So you got 4 levels. You got your radar indicated, which means that's nothing. That just looks like on the TV, it may look like there might be one, but there's really not. You got your radar confirmed.
Oh, wow.
Which I guess is kind of the same, but they look at this blue and this red spotchy thing. And if there's a little donut looking thing like that, that means it's radar confirmed. I don't know, but it's supposed to be more serious. And then you got your actual someone seen it with their eyes.
Confirmed. Yeah.
Those are all like the levels of warnings.
Touchdown.
They whenever you get one on your phone, it'll say something like this on it. So they're like, okay, take it seriously. But then if your ass be getting a tornado emergency coming across your phone, woo, that's serious. That's scary.
Yeah.
Because that means the shit's coming and it's big and you're probably gonna die if you're in the path of it.
Now, Des, have you seen one in the distance or?
Oh yeah, we got lots of them. I'm
Wow.
gonna share with you my experiences. And see, there's a tornado coming. And we got all the hook echoes. But
wow.
Isn't it crazy how they all just look the same?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So this is a big thing. I don't know. People don't understand it, but there was a Fujita scale and now there's the enhanced Fujita scale. Right?
EF.
There's the
Yeah.
F.
EF.
Because there used to be the F5 and now there's the EF5. I don't know why they had to change it. They just did.
This?
I don't know.
Did they do that?
It was really weird. But yeah, I don't know why they thought they needed to do that.
Well, it's inflation. So at F4, I was getting 207 to 260 miles an hour winds, and now with inflation, I'm only getting 166 to 200 mile per hour winds.
So they did it because I guess that the way tornadoes are rated is, so hurricanes are rated on their wind speeds because you can fly an airplane into them and figure out what the knots are and what the pressure millibars are. Okay.
Yeah.
You can't do that with the tornado. Actually, you can't really know you can't really know how dangerous it is until afterwards. So the Fujita scale is really a measure of damage. It's not a measure of strength. So the thought was with houses being built better, that they would have to have a different scale because there was a lot of lower rated. There was tornadoes that are getting rated lower based on the damage. Or no. There was tornadoes getting rated higher based on their damage because they were hitting really shitty houses. So they redid all this whole thing. But what I will say is that's not the case because there's a lot less stronger tornadoes now. But I don't know. Who really knows?
But I got a problem. Before we get into this awesome thing that I want to talk about.
Okay.
I got one question. Or not a question, but again, with the inflation of this, do you guys ever get the heat index stuff?
Yeah.
I mean, not to be an old man, but I always get pissed off. I'm like, can you just tell me what the temperature is? I don't remember heat indexes when I was a kid. And then if you're like, okay, it's 94, but it feels like 102. I'm like, no, I remember when it was 102. 102 feels like 102. If 94 feels like 102, then what does 102 feel? I mean, it's like they're just inflating it for no reason.
Yeah, I don't really understand the real feel.
Wind chill. Yeah, wind chill's the same thing.
But the wind chill is different because there is a wind that provides an extra chill.
Yeah, but
there's not a hot chill. But
I think we can figure that out. Just tell me what the thermometer's saying. Anyway, that's all I'm saying. Just my little beef.
Well, yeah, well, it says the temperature, and then I guess somebody walks out and says, "Oh, that says 95, but it really fucking feels like 107." So that's what we're saying.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So
I
this
feel
is
like
a Ford.
once you hit 100 degrees, it's hot as fuck.
Exactly. HAF.
HAF, yes.
Okay,
Okay,
so what do we got?
this is the TIV. Actually, I think this is the Dominator. One of the two. I don't know.
That's a Ford.
Doesn't matter. Is it a Ford?
Yeah, I can tell from the headlights.
Well, it is a Tahoe. It's a Chevy.
Oh, then I'm wrong. I can't tell from the headlights.
It's a Chevy. It's a home. So what this is this a tornado intercept vehicle? This is pretty cool. There was a huge homage to this in the Twisters movie. Basically what it does is it has anchors like kind of on the inside of that like tank armor.
Skirt. Yeah.
Yeah, the metal skirt that like anchor into the ground. So there's one protection, and then the shield drops down to provide no airflow to lift. So it seals it off, and then it's all like bulletproof glass.
Wow.
It's pretty cool.
I wonder how many miles per gallon. Have you seen this in real life?
When you see this in real life, you're fucked.
Oh, copy that. All right. Why does it have
the person that drives this? So the person that owns this is Dr. Reed Timmer. So he is like, I'm sure if he'd be chasing hurricanes.
Why does it have the double 50 cal on the top? It's got some gun or something there.
I don't know what that is.
Did we just lose Jeff and Zeus?
We did.
Maybe they're on another podcast.
Maybe.
Okay, well let's keep going because this is interesting.
Okay. So this I think this is actually the TIV, but
okay.
Yeah, the Dominator has like these cannons on the side, which is also in the Twisters movies. This is why I think maybe it wasn't that great to me, because I'm like, well, this shit's already been done. But there's like cannons on the side of it that shoot sensors into the tornado. Whatever. They literally just drive into tornadoes and the tornado goes over them. The videos are pretty cool if you ever watch them.
I mean, that's bananas. Yeah.
Okay. Listen.
Wow.
So these are just a few of the tornadoes I've experienced, okay?
Did you take that picture?
I did not.
Okay.
Somebody did.
Okay.
I don't know. Not me. Okay. So, May 3rd, 1999 is my first ever actual real-life tornado experience. Okay? So, I moved here. Remember last time I was saying?
I hope they didn't hear me peeing.
Yes.
I didn't hear you peeing. Spell I cup.
Wow.
Spell I cup.
I see you pee.
Ha. You
okay.
Nasty. Okay, anyway. Okay, so you remember how when I was kind of talking about this, so I moved to Kansas from California, and then I went and saw the Twisters, or the Twister movie, which came out in 1996. Scared the fuck out of me. Okay?
Yep.
Then my actual first experience with a tornado was this day. This day lives on in infamy in the world of storms. Okay. This tornado it originated, which I always thought it ended up being two different tornadoes, but it originated down in Moore, Oklahoma, huge F5, and I always thought that the same tornado just traveled all the way up to Wichita and fucked shit up. That's what I always thought. Turns out it was actually two different tornadoes. But yeah, I always just thought it was the same one until actually pretty recently, but whatever. Y'all know the emergency alerts that are on the TV, that god awful sound.
Yeah.
And then this is a test of the emergency alert system.
Nice.
Whatever the fuck it says.
If this were an actual emergency.
Yes. Instructions would follow the tone or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, something like that. Okay, so I will tell you when it's okay, so they probably have those for hurricanes, right?
No, you get it days. You get it days in advance.
Oh.
I mean, like you said, you know what's coming. I mean, you have time to board up windows and all that.
Oh yeah, but you'll still get those nasty alerts that make your phone go off in the middle of the night.
But they're not quite as urgent.
I'm not talking about the phone ones because God, I shut those off.
Oh.
I'm talking about the TV ones that they they'll test like in the middle of the day.
Yeah, no, I've never been through one of those before.
Oh my God. I'm going to fucking find one and play because they are the creepiest things. And it's like this robotic voice.
Yeah.
Telling you you're going to die. Like
Mr. Roboto.
It's like,
it's like apocalyptic.
There will be massive damage to every house and it will make it inhabitable. Cars will be flying missiles. Life will be lost. Take cover now.
And
you're just like,
cats.
oh
Living
my
together.
God.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this is my very first experience with one of these. Scariest thing I've ever, that itself, more than the tornado, scared me, because it was like the tone and then the voice dude. And then like where it's supposed to say like the instructions, it was an actual person that came on the emergency alert system. And like it was like a 911 person, I guess, and like was talking. But it wasn't the robot guy. It was so weird. Scared the shit out of me. Screen was black. Didn't even say any words on it. Anyway, scary as fuck. I thought I was gonna die. Literally.
Wow.
Thought I was going to die. Ah.
Wow.
So this tornado, not the Hayesville, South Wichita part that I always thought was the same tornado, but the one that was down that originated in Moore was recorded to have the fastest wind speeds on the planet ever at 321 miles an hour.
That's bananas.
This
that is
prompted
bananas.
the conversation for, well, is there an F6? There's
Yeah.
not an F6.
It just keeps getting worse.
And then this is the first tornado emergency that they ever issued. So, I mean, it was scary as fuck. I mean, I can't even, I was so scared. And I was like, oh my God. And they were talking about this emergency. They're like, everyone's going to die. Ah. Okay. So then it didn't even hit me. But it did hit South Wichita. You know, all the trees look like that. I remember going down there a couple days afterwards. There was a boat wrapped in a tree.
Wow.
I was like, oh, okay.
Wow.
Anyway. So then I got to live life for a while, y'all. Until April 2012. Okay. I had a 1-year-old at this time. And everyone in Kansas has you have a tornado action plan if you don't live in a house with a basement, basically. It's either a friend, or like mom's house, or like the Dillons down the road. You got a plan of what's going to happen when shit gets real. My son and my son's dad and I at the time lived in an apartment. So I was at work when this occurred, and I had said, I was like, hey, if you like, shit's supposed to get bad tonight, so if it goes down, go to Micah Patty's house. He went to Micah Patty's house. This is the Wichita map. I'm like, whatever, that's like the path of this tornado, right? Okay, south to north, whatever. Zoom in on this map. These little arrows. This green arrow is where my apartment was.
Jeez.
There was an oven and a pop machine in my parking lot.
Jeez.
Pops for the taking. There were pops everywhere. This red arrow is where my grandma lives. She didn't have a basement, so we weren't going there. And the house was shitty anyway. Right across from a trailer park. But anyway, this yellow arrow is where Micah Patty lived.
Wow.
Yeah. Justin he said their ears popped. They were that close. So
it looks like there's an airport right next to you too,
McConnell Air Force Base. Oh, and then Cessna Aircraft. That's probably corporate. Beach Factory Airport. Wow.
Remember, Wichita is the air capital of the world. Right. It's not zoomed in, but a little bit north.
That is the worst planning for airports ever in history.
Why?
Look where the tornado. I mean, I guess they didn't know that they would hit there.
Yeah, they didn't know. That was good tornado planning.
They usually move the
flight capital.
Yeah, the air capital of the world. So, Wichita's the air capital of the world because we do a lot of flight safety here, and for like people all over. Like we have a lot of flight simulators, a lot of that, and like people from all over the world come and get trained on like Boeings and yeah.
Wow.
So it's pretty cool. So McConnell Air Force Base is in a weird spot. Many tornadoes, like any big tornado that's ever hit, has always hit the base.
Wow.
Now, like I said, they know the military knows something we don't know, because 2 days before the shit happens, they're moving those bombers. Because they almost lost them one time, and then they learned their lesson after that. But so again, if you're in Kansas and all of a sudden they're moving the bombers, and then you see the TIV, fuck, just move.
Yeah, get moving.
So this is this quick trip here. So my apartment was like on the opposite corner of this quick trip. That's how close we were. Well, I wasn't home at the time, but so the quick trip's fucked. See,
Mm-hmm.
And then this is a Ferris wheel that got knocked over. Oops.
No.
No one was on it, I don't think.
No.
Okay.
Judgment Day.
Judgment Day. This was. Hold on.
There's McConnell again.
Okay, you guys are gonna relive my fear here. I put this YouTube video in here. So this was May 19th, 2013. I was not with my son's dad anymore, and I was working at Hooters. This was like 3:30 in the afternoon.
Streaming back to you, JD.
And again, Dave, not to go too much with the wordage here, but the Weather Service is calling this a tornado emergency for the city of Wichita. They're calling this a tornado emergency for the city of Wichita. And we've no doubt been saying this for a while, and I tell you, this is, it's not one, you can hear the hail coming down here, and no doubt you see what's going on here. It's, I don't know what other words you want us to say to you. I don't know what else you want us to do. I know we're here to help you out in this situation. Hopefully you're in your shelter and you're watching us here this afternoon. You can ride this thing out with us as well. It's like what Dave just mentioned. It's one of those things, we cover these storms all the time. We talk about this all the time. When they hit a city like Wichita with the amount of people here, the infrastructure, everything else, this is just a huge thing. We never want this to happen, but this is where we are. This is the reality. We can't prevent anything. We can't undo anything. So I want you to stay with us in your basement. I want to try and be as calm as possible here this afternoon. I realize what may happen out of this situation. Let's try to stay as calm as we can during this, and let's ride this thing out together, all right? Let's get through this. So we're watching things here. This is the radar site. This is the radome in the southwest part of the city of Wichita. This is along Tyler Road. Weather Service, they took shelter. They're back at it now. This is the notch on this storm, but I don't know if this is the newest image that's come in or not. I'm not sure. Is that
JD, we have a power hit earlier that took down one computer. It does appear to be back up and operating.
The radar is not working.
I just want does jive with our other sources of information as well. So it looks like this is moving now into the heart of Wichita, with the circulation now just to the southwest of the downtown. And we have actually already told our folks here at KSN to move to shelter.
Okay, well, it's again one of those deals where you don't want this to happen, but here's where we stand right now. The hail is just pounding the roof like crazy at this point in time. And again, we're going to watch this. If you're not familiar with exactly where we are, I'll back out of the screen a little bit. There you can see Wichita. Here is 135. Here is 235. This is Metro Wichita. This is the radar site, which sits out southwest. Goddard is just off to the edge of your screen here. And again, you look back to the city of Wichita, downtown. Our studios are about in this area right here, right now. And again, you've got Hayesville down this way. And I also understand, and I do apologize for this, I understand that we have been streaming with our partners on Clear Channel Radio, all of our various stations out there.
It's a fucking
and I do
tornado
apologize
emergency.
for not acknowledging that sooner. I do want to welcome those folks in, and thank you very much for streaming along with us here. We also have folks who are on KSN.com who are no doubt watching us right now as this storm bears down on the city of Wichita.
You know, JD, in 20 years, I've never said this, but I think it's our time to go.
Dave,
I really do. We've been monitoring the conditions here downtown. So at this point, folks, we here at KSN are moving to our shelters. We are moving to our shelters.
Come on, Dave. I thought you were
and I
going to
will
stick with
continue
us.
to
I'm alone.
with you as
I'm
long as we
alone.
can. We're leaving the radar image out, but it appears that it is time for all of us to get to shelter. Get to shelter right now. Ryan Newton. Now.
They're all like yelling at each other.
Everybody down below, let's go.
Now that is
And
a
we're
weather
dead.
report.
And we're dead.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's a weather report, Des.
So
You're
it's
not
like
kidding.
going. We're just like, so but literally this is what's happening. So we're looking at each other like, oh fuck, like this is real. This is the realest it's really ever been. And like this is all we can see. It's like static. What's happening?
and again, we're going to watch.
I'm assuming that he was like looking out a window.
Back to you, JD.
And again, Dave, not to go too much with the wordage here, but the Weather Service is calling this a
What?
I'm assuming he was like looking out a window or something.
No, it's a studio. I think they're just hearing it.
Well,
I don't know.
They could have been because they're like where the broadcast studios is for this station is like this place called Exploration Place, and it's literally like a glass building in the middle of the river.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. So I mean, they have their own little like, bunker, but I don't know if they share it with anyone else. But so So this is then followed by
tornado emergency for the city of Wichita. They're calling this a
part. So like in real life, what happened is our TVs went off. So we see all that, and then they're screaming. They're like, "Oh fuck, this shit just hit." Power audio cuts off, and then the power cuts out. Fuck.
Yeah.
Oh fuck. So we're like screaming. We're like whatever. We're trying to get like I guess whoever's in the restaurant this time like back to the back cooler. Then the power came back on and then so we were able to watch this part.
Coming up, K42 of a large destructive.
He's gonna say it in a minute, but where the Hooters is at is at 21st and K96. All right.
Tornado coming up, K42 of a large destructive tornado on the ground. It is heavily wrapped up in rain. That is making it very difficult for spotters to know exactly what they're dealing with. But we would urge those of you now in southeastern Harvey, western Butler counties, eastern Sedgwick County to remain in shelter. And as I look at this radar image, I remain most concerned about East Wichita, just to the north of Kellogg, just south of K96. 21st, if I were to pick a street, this still looks like it could be something wrapped up inside it. We could still have something significant going on. So we urge you in East Wichita over toward.
We all thought we were like, this is it. This is it. We're going to fucking die in these orange shorts at this Hooters in this fucking cooler.
Des was like,
didn't.
21st. Wait. And Kana, what?
So freaked out. Well, it wasn't the tornado like actually lifted right before it hit Wichita, but nobody knew that, and we didn't know that. No, they didn't know that. I mean, fuck.
There's some guy in that Hooters like, man, this would have been the coolest way to die.
Yeah, dude. So, the funny part about it is, so we went into it's the beer cooler, right? You always go into the beer cooler because it's the furthest one in from the outside. So, the beer cooler, we're just like, should we just fucking drink beers? I mean, like
100%.
seriously, why not?
100%.
But no beers to drink. By me anyway. I was too fucking scared. I was literally like, we are gonna die. But my windshield when we surfaced, my windshield was fucked, like hail, lots of hail. Cracked ass windshield, had to get that shit replaced. And there was a tree branch on my car. And I'm just like, there's no trees around here.
Wow.
Where'd that come from?
Wow.
So I don't know we don't really know what happened, but
I guess you don't plant a lot of trees in Kansas, do you?
we don't have a lot of trees. Not a lot of trees.
Wow.
Most of the trees you see are planted in front of someone's house, and it's usually just one tree. Or there'll be like a field of wheat, and then like a pre-row, hedgerow, they call it.
Oh, I bet they ruin crops, huh?
What, a hedgerow?
Tornadoes. I imagine they ruin a lot of crops.
Yeah, so there's something called crop insurance.
Ah.
Hailstorms are what really ruin
Pretty bad.
droughts.
Yeah.
Droughts
They break everything.
Yeah.
Wow. There's something beautiful about them sometimes.
This was the most recent one. So this was the one that occurred right before I came to DC. This was 2022, the second Andover tornado is what they call it, but whatever. This picture was actually taken. So where I live, this is if you go 2 blocks north and 1 block east. If you stood at that corner, that picture was taken right there.
Wow.
So that's not very far from my house, but isn't it pretty?
Yeah, it is.
Let's go.
Okay, here we go. We can hear it.
Okay, good.
Wow.
Good thing those sirens are going off so they know
the
the
truck.
tornadoes.
They're not going off yet. Yeah, they are.
Look at that car cutting across the median.
Yeah, I'm just like, what are these people thinking? It's like, look at this car.
Man.
I can only imagine how hard it would be for me to be driving away from that while crying.
Or how come you didn't? I mean, okay, physics is easy. If something's going like this, that probably means don't drive like this or you're going to run into it.
Yeah,
like,
stop.
Why don't I never will understand why people do that, but every time you see a tornado video towards like on a road, everyone's fucking driving just like it's not happening. Ugh. Stop.
I think it takes a while for them to realize it. Wow.
This is the same tornado. So this is so that first picture was like, so it hit Andover and went through the city, and that was like if it was like past the city. So this is when it was just entering the city of Andover. So this is like if you go a mile south from my house and stood on the highway and took this picture, that's where it was.
Just looks like the cloud is reaching to the ground.
Yeah, literally.
It's crazy.
Finger of God, man.
Finger of God. Okay. Now, I don't know if you know this story. It's a big ass tornado. Okay. Well, that's because you don't live in Kansas or anywhere in the Midwest. But this tornado was huge as fuck. So there's this little town in Kansas. Its name was Greensburg. I guess it still is named Greensburg. Okay. So this tornado hit at night. It hit this little town, and it ended up being the first. When they switched over the enhanced Vegeta scale, it ended up being the first tornado that was rated an EF5 from like the whatever F5. Okay, this tornado was 1.7 miles wide.
God.
It's more like a mini hurricane.
The town of Greensburg was 1.5 miles wide.
Oh, Christ.
The whole town gone.
Jeez.
Nothing was left. Nothing. Not a damn thing. So, the reason I have a little bit of tie to this is because my best friend at the time, her whole entire family lives in Greensburg. And so her cousin that night of the tornado, so it was crazy. It was mad. I mean, there was no connection, no anything to anybody. So they were just finding people. Like, I guess her cousin was at a friend's house or whatever. And so they were just like finding people and like grabbing them and like putting them on these buses to get them out of the city because there was another tornado coming.
Jeez.
Fuck.
And so they took her to like the next town over, Haviland. And so my friend's cousin like didn't have a way to get a hold of her for like 2 days. So they thought she was dead or like sucked up by the tornado or something because nobody could get a hold of her. Nobody knew where she was. No connection, no anything. So they all thought she was just dead. But so that was sad. But yeah, we went to a couple days after it hit, we went to like help with cleanup and stuff because like I said, her whole entire fucking family lives there. And just the sheer, I mean, you can devastation in pictures is one thing.
Yeah.
When you see Hot Wheels cars embedded in dirt, just pieces of straw, you know, like hay, like a hay bale, pieces of straw thrown into a tree like a dart. No trees, bark just off the trees. They were naked trees. Street signs were just like, they looked like spiral pinwheels, just like it was crazy. Like just and then so it would look like that, and then like there would be like a house that's like gone, and then like their kitchen table would be there, and then like everything was like envelopes from the Daily Mail was like just sitting on the fucking table. Crazy. Like how does that work? I don't know, but crazy. Then we'll just end with this one. So this was another one in Twisters that was huge, like a big homage to. But this one is sad because, well, first of all, this is the widest tornado ever on record, 2.6 miles, but its wind speeds were 302 miles an hour. However, it was only rated an EF3. Because, you know the saying, like, if a bear shits in the woods, no, if a tree falls in the woods, does it make a sound?
It didn't have as much damage. Yeah.
If a tornado don't hit nothing, it can't measure the damage because if it's just hitting wheat fields. But
that car looks pretty damaged.
Well, that car does look pretty damaged. The sad thing about that car is, so that car belonged to, I put the wrong team in here. It's the Twist X team, but they were very like scientifically backed storm chasers. had been doing it forever, like very professional. It was Tim Samaras, Paul Samaras, and like one of their like buddies. They were all in that car and died. Just because what happened during this tornado was it kind of just like very, moved erratically, but it was like going, stopped, grew a whole mile. It like grew a whole mile without moving and like engulfed them in the road. It was crazy.
Jeez.
So that's how they got killed. But
Wow.
yeah. So they're scary. Yeah, they're scary, but I mean, I like adrenaline. Do you guys like adrenaline?
Sometimes.
Like coasters? Do you like any of that?
I used to, not
shit?
so much anymore.
Hmm.
However, going to the firing range recently, I might still have a little bit of it in me because that was fun.
Do you like driving, like riding motorcycles?
No, not at all.
I like driving fast.
Stupid people.
You like driving fast?
I like driving fast.
Yeah. Skydiving.
Motorcycles are dumb.
I haven't skydived. It's the first
I
step.
skydived once.
What did you like it?
Did you pee yourself?
No, I didn't pee myself. I crash landed, kind of. But no, the talk about tornado speeds and how like little things, like a piece of dirt is like a dart that can just tear through somebody.
Mm-hmm.
There was a little sprinkle that day, and they're like, we can't do it if there's any rain. And I'm like, what's wrong with you people? You're such wimps. Every little water thing that hits your face when you're going down, it feels like you're getting hit with a needle.
Wow.
And that's, I'm sure, not nearly the speed of a, tornado.
Yeah, but you're free falling. I just heard it's like falling. Like you're just like, because you don't really feel the speed because it's just, I don't know. You're just like floating.
No, yeah, you don't feel the speed at all. No. Not until you start getting close to the ground. Then you're like, this is faster than I thought.
Yeah, because you can judge it relative to the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like roller coasters. I don't like that drop.
Mm.
Yeah, I can go my entire life and never jump out of a perfectly good airplane.
I mean, this plane was not very good.
Like, the ripcord. You ever, the ripcord at like the amusement parks?
Yeah.
Or like the Six Flags or whatever. You ever do that?
What is that again?
The ripcord.
The ripcord. I have not done that.
No.
I would do it, but I don't think I wouldn't pull the cord. Somebody else would have to do the pull. Just like I wouldn't jump, I wouldn't step out the airplane. Somebody would have to just fucking do it for me or push me.
Yeah,
I'd be fine.
No desire at all.
There's this new thing where I think it's called the slingshot, but they literally take you and they pull you and then they sling you, and it's kind of like the ripcord, but they sling you instead of drop you. I do that.
Oh.
I think the scariest thing I ever did was fly a glider in the mountains in like Southwest Virginia, and that was pretty scary because it was the whole body of the glider was like just enough, just a little bigger than me, and all the gauges, it was in Czechoslovakian because it was and it was like built in the early 60s, and like we were being towed. And
were you flying a mission with Tom?
No.
How are you, Jimmy Cooper?
I had to pull the yellow handle to release from the airplane, and that was a little nerve-wracking for sure. But that was
Don't
fun.
need to do that either. I don't even want to be in a helicopter. I find helicopters a little terrifying.
Really, helicopters are fun. They're really hot. There's no air conditioning in a fucking helicopter.
Just open the door.
They just got them triangle windows, man. That's the fucking nose provide no air.
AC. I wonder why. They've got to.
I don't know. Probably because it's. Listen, there ain't a lot of room in a helicopter. You got the body, which is round, and then you got the pilot that's taking up a lot of space. They got to sit there. They need a chair, gear, and gadgets. I've only really been in two kind of helicopters. I've been in one was just like a little like, I don't know what you call it, but like you could fucking fly it with a joystick, like a little commuter helicopter, I guess.
Like
we literally it landed in the street in front of my house, and we got on it. Anyway, then the other helicopter I've been in was like a medevac.
I was gonna say, I was wondering,
No. I used to think I wanted to be a flight nurse. No.
Why? What was bad about it?
The Kevlar. Fuck that.
The Kevlar.
And the heat. Yeah, because you have to wear a Kevlar suit.
Why?
Because it's fireproof.
Oh. That doesn't sound good. Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to be on a flying object that you have to worry about fire.
I don't want to wear a fireproof suit because then that means there could be fire around.
Well, because if you crash, which this is
then
safety,
only your face
safety
burns.
third, right? This is what I think, safety third. But if you're 99,000 times out of 10, if you crash a helicopter, you're dead.
Yeah,
you're dead.
Yeah. No glide path.
So what's the Kevlar? I mean, on that 0.0001% chance that you do survive the crash, the Kevlar is supposed to fucking be your saving grace from the fire. It's
like putting your head down in a plane crash. I think they just do that to let you think that you've got a chance.
Well, why I gotta whilst I'm wearing said Kevlar, I'm sweating my fucking ass off in the no air conditioning or airflow fucking helicopter.
Yeah.
And then I think that they have you put your head down so that when it hits, your neck immediately snaps.
And you don't remember. So and I'm always you know how they tell you? You know how they always tell you just get off and leave your shit on the airplane? Are you leaving your shit? I'm not leaving my shit.
Well, they just had an instance of that a couple weeks ago.
What do you mean?
Where it was like something happened and people were getting screamed at for taking time to get their stuff off the plane. I think it was in like Japan or something. Anyway.
People are weird.
Well,
we're weird.
I also don't ever bring on carry-on luggage. I just have like my backpack. I'm taking that.
I mean, and it's probably easy to grab. I mean, no one just stands up on a plane, gets in the aisle, and walks out. I mean, there's always a weight of some kind. No?
Yeah, that's because everyone's getting their fucking bags out of it. People that bring these listen. If you want to bring a little like a weekender duffel,
yeah, fine.
Sure,
cheesy in
whatever. Do you boo? But these people that I don't understand how the fuck they get away with these big ass like that did not fit in that little thing that you have to put your suitcase in.
Oh, to see. I see what you're saying.
You know, like that doesn't fit in there. How did you get away with that? Gate check that shit. Gate check your bag. It's lovely because it's free. And you don't got to worry about getting it, like moving anywhere. People are dumb. I just don't get it. You don't need that. You don't need your bag. I mean, there are some people I will say, like, if it's your photography equipment, like your pills, whatever.
Yeah.
You got to fly back home a few days.
Yeah, I know. Let's get off this subject. I got to fly in a few days.
Oh, okay. It's fantastic.
Well, let's go. You want to go back to helicopters? So it's really fucking hot. Also, while you're sweating your ass off in your Kevlar suit with no airflow, if your patient in the medevac dies and you have to do CPR and stuff, so you're hot as fuck in your Kevlar that doesn't breathe in a no airflow fucking helicopter. You only have that, the triangle window in the old ass vans that you can just open. That's the only airflow you got, baby girl. That's it. Maybe a fan somewhere. Maybe it clipped up somewhere that you can't feel anyway. Okay. And you start having to do, and CPR is hard. CPR is not, it is hard. It is so much work. And you got to do it, right? And you're sweating your ass off. You can't even stand up straight in the fucking helicopter. You're always bending. So you can't really recoil all the way. And then the shit's bouncing. You get that CPR going, you're like, the fucking helicopter's like fucking rocking. And then, so you have to start your chest compressions. But every time you have to start CPR, you have to land. Every single time.
Why?
It's just It's regulation because you only have so much in a helicopter. If you need more stuff, I mean, you have to land so you can, get
meet an
ground
ambulance.
EMS to get you and bring the patient to the hospital. That's hopefully nearer, even though you can in theory, get to the hospital faster because you're a helicopter, but that's just regulation.
And it seems to me like every helicopter that medevacs to a hospital, it's always in the middle of all these buildings. It's never on the top of the tallest building. It's always where the blades could fly off and rip through floors.
In a canyon, yeah.
Oh no, ours is on the tallest. I don't even really know how they get that patients into the hospital because it's really kind of out there. There's probably a tunnel somewhere. But
here's a funny little design flaw in the hospital I work at. Ours is one of those ones where the helicopter lands in between three buildings that are going around it. One of those is the psych unit. So you got a paranoid patient.
Oh man.
We've had so many times patients have been like, are they here for me? You know,
God.
like just craziness. And before that, it was the maternity ward. Again, just something about helicopters landing right
not
next
relaxing.
to the patient's room.
Sleep.
Yeah, exactly.
One of the biggest things they tell you, and like in flight school training, is if anything flies off, like the patient, the bed sheet, not the patient, but anything flies off of the patient, the bed,
Yeah.
your hat, their hat, a pillow, a piece of trash, their bag. If anything moves into the air, do not grab it. You will lose your arm. Because usually what will happen is you'll go to grab it and it's already probably getting grabbed by a bigger force, which is the blade or the back blades, like the spinny ones in the back.
Oh, when you're
And
getting
so if you
when you're
grab
around
it, if you go to like just out of reaction, like, and it's so hard because you're like, oh shit, no. If you go to grab it, it's gonna bring you in with it, and you're just gonna
when you're loading and unloading.
yeah.
Jeez.
Oh,
'Cause
okay.
they don't
Yeah.
turn
Okay.
the blade off. They don't turn that shit off when you're loading and unloading.
Yeah.
Wow, man.
I'm gonna yell out a resounding "fuck that."
Get a little
You
off
saw
the top.
that scene in ER where the doctor got his arm chopped off by a helicopter.
Did that work?
Mm-mm.
Did that happen?
Yeah, that's what they say. Do not get anything. And also never walk around the back. You ever walk around the back of the chopper. Ever.
Wow.
Because you can't see the blades. They're just so fast. And you just thunk. Lose your head.
Ugh. That makes me think of, remember that the Twilight Zone movie when the guy died trying to save those two kids and then all of them died
Yeah.
because of the helicopter? Yeah. Ugh. Helicopters, no bueno. Helicopters and motorcycles, you can fucking have them.
I would do a fixed wing though. I'd do that.
A what?
A fixed wing,
Fixed
like an
wing.
airplane.
Okay.
Like I would do that
Yeah.
instead of.
At least you have a glide ratio.
At least there's a fucking air conditioner.
Well, gang, not that you have to jump, but I have got to jump off because I got to be somewhere early. But this was fun. I wish I could stay on a little bit longer, but I am gonna bug out.
Yeah, I got to drive
Wow.
back to Palm
You're good.
Harbor myself.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna.
Long here in St. Pete.
Yep.
Well, it's
Yeah,
nice
it was
seeing you
good.
guys.
It was good.
Nice seeing you,
Good
Jeff.
to come out here to Jeffy Mac's house.
Are you gonna do drunk Jeff cooks? Or eats, I mean. Drunk Jeffy's?
Well, we hadn't planned ahead.
Oh yeah, we probably should have planned something.
Yeah, I had checkers though today. I haven't had checkers in years.
What's the
It's good
checkers?
stuff.
It's a burger joint.
But there's
Kind
no
of
sit in.
Yeah, and I
it's
think
just drive-
Sonic is the same.
Drive through only. Okay, I
They
gotta
call
go.
it what in some places?
Rallies.
Bye-bye.
Rallies?
How do I do
See you, buddy.
Oh.